Hey guys, this is Introducing Emmy, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a spooky drawing to celebrate putting the empathy books back up. Hold on one second, my frame is in the way. Alright, cool. I think that'll work. No, it will not work. What's going on here? Can I hide my frame? There we go. That was weird. I want fine art brushes. Okay. So yeah, I put, well, I didn't restock Empathy. I only, what's the word? I only put up the extras that I had. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get around to like completely reordering all of them, but I'll have a link in the description to both the hardback and the paperbacks that I have left over. Also, I'm sorry if I sound uncharacteristically nervous today, if my voice sounds shaky or whatever. I'm having sort of an anxious day today. Don't worry, it's not you. If you were sitting at home worrying that it was you, it's not. And I'm sorry that I haven't been posting videos lately. I've been very, very busy. And sadly, YouTube is not my full-time job, but I haven't forgotten about you guys. My pen is not really responding the way I want it to. Yeah, that's kind of weird. See, I figured we'll just do like a little spooky doodle. I don't know what it is. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, I'm actually starting to run out of hard drive room a little bit on my backup where I keep all my videos. So I'm going to have to figure out, either I'm going to have to get a new, like an external hard drive or something, or get some more space. I don't know. I have to think about that. Because basically, at the end of the day, I can't sacrifice room for videos because some of my art files are quite large. Which is a shame. I back up my art about every other week or so. Just in case something awful were to happen to it. I have no idea what this is. It's kind of goofy. I'm not sure if I'm going to be restocking the Empathy books anytime soon. They're not like a huge seller of mine. They're like a very niche book of my work. So like only fans of my darker art are really interested in them. I've sold about 100, I think, which is not like a tremendous amount, but it's pretty good for not like really advertising it or anything. Let's see. What else have I been up to? I'm thinking I've got a lot of messages about Zsto's fan art contest. I kind of have a rule about not joining art contests anymore. Mainly because anytime I spend on my art, I have to quote unquote win. I.e., I do work for, or I mean, I do art for a job, so I can't exactly spend time entering contests and stuff, unless they're like, you know, friendly little whatevers between friends and stuff. But I really would like to enter this one because let's give this guy some really wild teeth. I would like to enter this one because I do like these videos quite a bit. I just got done watching all his legendary stuff. Oh man, I can't wait until he starts another legendary map. I'm gonna plot. But I would like to enter it. I think I'm gonna do something like a shirt about his advanced lighting technique. And I think somebody said there was a cash prize, but I don't think it was like a horrendous amount or anything. No offense, Easto. So I'm actually, if I win, I'm gonna ask him to donate it to a charity I support, which I hope that's okay with him. It's a good cause. Some people said I should just submit my my whatchamacallit, the one drawing I did for him for the Minecraft. Nah, I don't like that there. I was gonna do like a bullet hole or something, but I don't really like that. Anyway, I've been doing those series of Minecraft drawings, and somebody said I should just go ahead and submit the one I already did, but honestly, when I did that one, I didn't really feel like I knew Zista very well, and I was listening to like what everybody else was saying to put into the drawing, which is not a bad thing. But if I do something that's going to be like official or could potentially be official for him, for his Let's Playing career, I would like to do something from the heart. That I really know him now. No, I don't really know him at all except through his Let's Plays. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, excuse me, my nose is a little stuffed up today. It's been really humid here. But now that I know him a little better through his Let's Playing and everything, you know, I have my own ideas that I'd like to work with. And maybe I'll record it if you guys are interested in that. I saw some other people recording their entries, and I thought, I could do that. So, that is what we are probably going to do. Maybe. I think I have till the end of October to get it done, or the beginning of October. I don't know. It's soonish, though. I definitely will have to do it sooner than later. Alright, so where's our light source here? I think this should be darker up here. There we go. I don't know what he's coming out of. Coming out of the closet. No, he's not. I don't know what he's doing. He's being such a goofball. I find doing art like this to be really comforting, oddly enough. Oops. Forgot I was working on one layer. Like whenever I'm feeling sad or anxious, I just do a little bit of scary art. Perks me right up. It actually does. I'm not being like sardonic. Like, ooh, it cheers me up. Give him a little spit. That spit's coming out a little too far on this side. Doesn't look balanced. There we go. He's so pretty. He's gonna go to Monster Prom. I love these fine art brushes. They're really, really gritty. Like they have a nice canvas texture. I don't remember where I got them, but I will say this. Google fine art brushes and you'll probably find them. If I remember correctly, they were like one of the only sets I ever found that was like this, and they were also free to use. Like Oh, my dog just made a grumble. They were free to use, like, for commercial artwork and stuff, if I remember correctly, which is always a big thing with me. I don't want to, like, basically all my art is either going to end up in a book or published or something at this point. I never, like, do fun art anymore just for myself. But anyway, if I'd like to think that all my art could have the potential to end up somewhere, like on a t-shirt or whatever, and I don't want to have to, like, go shuffling through brushes to make sure that they're free to use or what have you. Like, I don't like to invade on other people's copyrights. I'm really anal about that kind of stuff. And you should be too. If you would like to get into art professionally, I would highly recommend you start that kind of stuff now. Like, if you're gathering brushes that you really like or whatever, to make sure that they are not belonging to someone else. Let's try to make his face a little more, like, gritty and grungy and ugly. And he has kind of, this isn't straight. I don't like this. Hold on. His spit's kind of, like, coming off at the side there. Just not what we want. Recently, I gave an interview to a college student who was reading a paper about doing art semi-professionally, and she wanted to write about my experiences and stuff, and I think one of the biggest things and I was recently talking to my husband about this, Dave. I was telling him that, if I could go back and do my college again, I think I would put more time into business classes, or, I don't know, like self-promotion kind of classes, because I own my own business now, but I'm kind of still out in the dark a little bit. I'm just like, ta-da! Okay, now I'm going to do this, like, I hope this works, because, I think a lot of artists, and I totally fell victim to all this too, at the beginning of your career, you're sort of, anytime somebody commissions you or whatever, you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe they like my art, and da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes you let yourself get a little underbid. They're like, I'll pay you $2 for 20,000 hours of work. Get to work, I made him sound a little European there, and so I think a lot of artists at the beginning of their careers sort of, like, undersell themselves a teensy tiny bit. And I think one of the hardest things for me is valuing my art to any degree. I have a lot of self-esteem issues anyway, to begin with. And at the end of the day, not only am I selling my art, I'm selling sort of myself in a way. Sexually, no. Your art kind of comes from the heart and your soul, and it's a product of you. And I'm getting off on, like, a really weird tangent from where this video was really supposed to go. Empathy books for sale! Buy my book! But, I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, that, you should never undervalue yourself. You're very special to me. Nah, let's not give him eyes. I think he looks way freakier without them. But let's give him a little bit of shine in his mouth to imply that maybe he has, like, an organ or something, like a tongue in there. He has a penis in his mouth. A lot of my work, especially my horror stuff, deals with sexuality. I'm really fascinated by human sexuality. I think that it's both the most beautiful and the most abhorrent and disgusting part of humanity, if that makes any sense. No, I mean, it doesn't. But, oops, we want it black. It's like a pastel black. Like, I'm so fascinated that, you know, our sexuality and everything it's so special, and we can use it to do like the most incredible things. We can make other people with it and stuff, but we can also use it to just absolutely destroy people's lives, which is so horrible to think about. But yeah, I'm totally like fascinated with it. Though this guy isn't particularly sexual. He's like, I'm very beautiful. Please don't mock me. I try so hard. Let's, he looks kind of like he's on a kid's show. Like, oh, there was an old show, I can't remember what it was called, where people would stick their heads out of holes and tell jokes and stuff. And this kind of reminds me of it. He's like, hey kids, sup. Now, I'm not going to even give him a collarbone. I kind of like that he's sort of like doughy in a way. Like molded almost. He's like, I'm not doughy. You're doughy. Fade some of this in. I'd like to put more lines on his face to make him more like... Oh my gosh, I had a really strange dream last night. I'm assuming that a lot of people here like know about the Minecraft guys or found me through them, or but I had a dream that I was like let on the server for a while or something, but it was like an amusement park. Like, I don't know, it was really bizarre. And I just remember Paws on Paws was there, and he was so mean to me, and I was like, I'm sorry. And he was like carrying this weird like grub creature around. Man, I have screwy dreams. I usually watch the Minecraft guys before I take a nap or before I go to bed. This is like the first time I've ever dreamed about them. It was really, really weird. Maybe that's what prompted me to make this video. I like this guy. He's pretty cool. Speaking of which, I've been getting asked who my next Minecraft person will be for drawing, and it's most likely going to be Kurt J. Mac and then Paws on Paws. I really need to like compile a list of all of the Minecraft people because I always forget some, and then I'm like kind of frantic trying to remember them all. I don't want to be non-inclusive to the Minecraft fellows. Like the other thing I don't like about this set is there's no brush that's like really made for doing like detail work. And when you make the brushes really, really small, the texture sort of falls apart a little bit. And it just, see how it kind of like blobbed up there? So now what I have to do is I have to go over it, you know, in a black with a larger brush to kind of try to bring that texture back out. So, yeah. So let's put a little bit of a harder edge at the bottom of the sockets. There we go. He's so pretty. Or she. It could be a girl. Alright, cool. Now let's decorate around the edges so he's not just like coming through a picture window. He's like, smash, I'm here. Let's first let's no, let's not crop it yet because I might do some stuff with it. But let's do a wood texture that we can warp and put behind him. And doing wood textures are pretty easy. Let me lock the layer we were working on so I don't actually accidentally go over it. So this is my whole canvas right now. So what we're going to do because we're going to use our fine art brushes, and we're just going to make some like scrapey scrapes. Actually, let me do these on a new layer above my black. There we go. Just some little scrapey scrapes. I feel like I'm drawing a birch tree in the dark. And then we're going to transform it by hitting Control-T and stretch it all out. Now, it's going to look really blurry because we're distorting an underlying texture in the brush, but that's okay, so don't even worry about that. And we're just going to duplicate it so that we get the bulk of the texture in the middle. And don't mind dark areas like this. If you've ever spent hours looking at wood grain, like I have, you'll know that. Let me get my tools reset. Okay. You'll know that there's lots of little imperfections in wood, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just draw some lines through here. And I don't mind if the planks are uneven, because this is not supposed to be a pretty drawing. And we'll draw some vertical. Now the way that I get straight lines is just by holding Shift. Just make sure you let go of Shift every time you lift up your brush, otherwise you're going to get connecting lines, which you may or may not want. And let's go ahead and do some nailies. Nailies. Now, I'm actually not technically drawing the lines. I'm using the eraser tool to erase away where I've drawn. So the darkest areas are actually negative space, completely negative in that there is there's no color or no quote-unquote paint. No digital paint is in that area. So we're going to just keep drawing our nails. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then now we're actually going to draw something. We're going to use the color black, and we're going to kind of make these sort of curvy scribbles. Just like that. And you might want to actually, depending on how thick or thin they end up, like how closely compact they are, you might want to shove them together a little bit. I'm actually going to go in with stroke. Try to make them a little more. And then use your transform tool, stretch them back out again. And this will put a like a graining pattern in your wood. And then you can use your opacity tool to adjust it. There we go, and that's our wood texture for the most part. You know, actually, real quick, I just want to see what this would look like. Kids, don't try this at home. I'm just going to add a little bit of beveling to just see what it looks like. It's okay. That's kind of adding a layer of depth that I don't really want. So anyway. So this is what we've got. Multiply that so I can see. Okay. And let us shrink this a teensy tiny bit. See, I actually kind of like these ruffled edges. And now what we have to do is get this line at the bottom of the window or the hole or whatever you want this to be is slightly angled. So we need to make sure that these bars from the transform tool follow those angles. So what we're going to do is you're going to go out to the edge here. You're going to hold down Control, and your cursor will change into like a little slightly shaded arrow, and on both sides you just want to kind of wiggle it into place. I forget exactly what the free warp, I think that's what it's called. I think it's called like free warp or free scale or something. I might be actually thinking of what Manga Studio calls it. But you just want to follow those edges. And then double click. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and using the polygonal lasso tool, we're going to delete the middle of the window. And let's turn down our opacity a little bit. And just erase away. I feel kind of like the Bob Ross of horror art right now. I'm just going to erase away some of these little edges and whatnot, so we can see his ghoulish mug dancing in the moonlight. It's also nice, I'm actually gonna, no, wait, let me see what, how did that get so small? There we go. There's kind of like a very, very white edge. I just kind of want to get rid of that a little bit. There we go. I know some artists are like really anti like haloing against like backgrounds and stuff. That's where you kind of like, I think it kind of comes from oil painting a little bit. Generally, there's a little bit of haloing in traditional media oil paints. And a lot of artists, I think, see it as like the true sign of a very talented artist when you don't have haloing. But I don't know, there's something about it I like. It's kind of like, it's sort of like seeing a little bit of the process underneath. I don't mind it. And I actually do a lot of haloing in my digital art, but I have to kind of do it manually. Like I have to actually go up and kind of like at the edges. Now, in the back of the head and neck area, I don't really want any haloing. A little's okay, you know, whatever. But I'm using this texture here to set his head forward. But over here, this is so bright that it just naturally comes forward. So I don't need as much texture over here. So we can just kind of fade that off. And definitely so you can see the little spittle. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use I'm going to use like a really, really soft brush. To help his head pop out even more. I think kind of the same over here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, don't you think? No, Emmy. I'm sorry. Alright, so yeah, and I think one other thing I might do, I don't know, I just want to see how it looks. If it's awful, we just get rid of it. Just want to put a little bit of a glow. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine. He doesn't need that. So yeah, let's crop it down. And I'll need to sign it, because I don't want to forget to do that. My art ends up all over eBay. Thanks. No, I'm kidding. I did have that happen once. I did a Nightmare Before Christmas fan art a long time ago. oh my gosh, I think I was like 16 or 17, way back, and it ended up on eBay. I bet I had a panic attack. I was like, oh my god, somebody's stealing my art. I will say though, eBay has gotten a lot better about that. I think when I filed a claim with them, it automatically, they kind of made like a permanent file on me so that if I ever had any other copyright claims, it would be much easier. I think that's how they do it. Sorry, my computer's lagging a little bit, which is why this looks really angular. So today's the 21st. I don't usually work on buffers because I'm radically cool like that. I actually wish I could, but I don't have a time to upload it on YouTube, so usually if I do a video, it's going up that day. Lest I forget. And let's actually work my signature a little bit so it looks a little more like part of this, I guess. I might actually have to delete the texture underneath for it to really, yeah, that's better. Okay. Actually, let's not do that because I don't know how it'll come out. Alright, so, and I'll also put a link in the description to this piece on either for my Tumblr, which is introducinganime.tumblr.com, or on my DeviantArt, which is introducinganime.deviantart.com. I'm introducing anime everywhere, so, and in Minecraft too, so. Okay, well, I'll catch you guys later. If you're interested in the Empathy book, go ahead and pick up a copy because I really don't know when I'm ever going to restock, and I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye!